What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Nerdy Volume Podcast. Today we're going to be talking about Joker 2. It stars Joaquin Phoenix. And we got Lady Gaga. It's directed by Todd Phillips. So let's go ahead and jump right in it. Don't forget to turn it to 11.
Awesome. Don't we turn it to 11? Sorry, guys. That is basically how.
Oh my god.
What was his name? Arthur Fleck. Okay, we're going into Joker 2. It is a sequel of the first one, going into the life of Arthur Fleck as a inmate at Arkham. And through this movie, we but it talks about him going through the stages of, I guess, understanding who he is, believing that everything he grew up knowing was a lie. And we see that certain people have influences on his life that it essentially takes him to do a ton of other things that he wasn't planning on doing. So I think that's one way to look at the plot, because as soon as things got musical, I don't know what happened. But, yeah. So let's talk about it, y'all. Joker 2. I was one of 7 people that watched it when I went.
So that makes me the second out of 7.
By the when I went to go watch it,
Yeah.
there were 4 other people in that movie theater, or in that showing.
People. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I had 7.
No. When I bought the tickets, there were 4 other people. When I got there and sat with my wife, we were the only 2 people. I'm like,
Wow.
Did they return their tickets or what? What happened? We were the only 2 that showed up.
Dang.
But yeah, so can we start with that?
How many people showed up?
No.
With the music?
That it was a musical?
Yeah.
What
dude.
in the me and my wife, we went in. We're watching this movie. They had their first song, and they had their second song, and then we got through halfway of this movie, and me and my wife are looking at each other. She goes, "What the heck is happening? Are we in a musical?" And I'm like, "I'm not sure." I'm like, "Are we even in the right movie?" It's like, are there 2 versions of this movie? Is there a non-musical version and a musical version?
Gosh, yeah.
So my wife, in the middle of us watching, she just like searching it on her phone. It's like, is there 2 versions of Joker 2? It's like, no, there's only one. And I'm like,
yeah.
What in the world?
And I think it's definitely DC heavy, because DC loves their musical episodes and music pieces in their animated and live shows. Like Flash, he had like 3 musical episodes. In Justice League Unlimited, they had 1 or 2, I think, but it wasn't like musical-y. But it was like Batman saying something about "Don't Make Me Blue," and Wonder Woman found out that he sang that. You know what I mean? Like the musical part, I was just like, well, that sounds DC.
Yeah.
But I was like, I'm pretty sure a lot of people don't like that, because we're adults now. As kids, we're like, oh, cool, they're singing, whatever. you know?
Yeah, so I had to count. It was like 20 people. There was 4 of us that watched it from my family, and then there was like 16 others in the whole theater. But yeah, it was not a great turnout. But the musical, if you guys watch the animated series, like I watched that thing to the ground, and even into Batman Beyond, he's very entertaining, like, to say the least. Very entertaining, as in, like, every time he does like some kind of music number, he kills somebody. Like he does it with like entertainment, like with joy in his face and just destroying people and stuff.
You're talking about the Joker.
Yeah, the Joker. And so to me, I took it in as, okay, this is him, this is his character. But then again, I want to, maybe we could talk about this maybe next or later on, but origin story, I don't know.
Oh,
you think
no, for sure, 100%.
Yeah.
So I disagree with what you're saying. I like a musical.
Yeah.
I'm a musical fan, but I have to be ready for the musical. I'm not going to watch a movie and expect it to be one thing and then it turns out being completely different.
Yeah.
I go watch a musical because I know it's a musical.
Exactly, yeah. Like High School Musical.
Unless I'm mistaken. Right. I'm like, I go to High School Musical and I'm like, wait, this is a musical?
Yeah, melodrama.
What is going on?
It's about people.
I thought this was just a CW.
Yeah.
About high school kids. No, but like, so I think my issue was that I only watched one commercial, like one I wouldn't even call it a preview, but one trailer thing that was promoting Joker 2, and it was on YouTube, and it was like, you know how sometimes they have the ads, and it was them, the three of, it was Joaquin, Lady Gaga, and I'm guessing the director, walking the red carpet or something, or the premiere for the movie. And I'm like, oh, cool. That's when I found out, oh, cool, Joker 2 is coming out. This was like last month that I realized this, right? And I'm like, oh, that's cool. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. At no point was it mentioned that it was going to be a musical. And I think, personally, I think that was the biggest reason why it was a flop.
Yeah.
People weren't expecting a musical, right? First, did you watch Joker, the first Joker, right?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
You watched it recently, though?
Yes.
And then did you just recently watch the first one again?
No, I didn't watch the first one again.
You watched it when it originally came out.
Yeah.
It's slow. It's not.
Definitely.
It's super like slow. It's very. What's the word I want? Torturous, right? It's a torturous movie because it's about a character who's like just so pathetic, and I don't mean that in an insulting way. It's just like his life is so sad the whole time.
It's depressing.
And, yeah, like it brings me to tear watching this character. Like it's so heart wrenching, and you kind of like for the first time ever, you're probably like, I feel bad for the Joker.
Yeah.
You know, I understand why he becomes who he is, but now you have a slow movie, and then on top of that, you add that it's a freaking musical. And you're just sitting there going, what are you doing?
Yeah, absolutely. I was so thrown back at the fact that it was a musical. However, on Google, it says that it's a musical.
Oh, you see, I never...
I had already watched it.
After the fact.
And I was just like, was this always there?
Yeah, no, they added it after you watched it so they could have caught you in the surprise.
It's like,
surprise!
Psych.
Yeah.
No, I will say, like, I understand why it's a musical. Because of what you just said, right? He's an entertainer.
Yeah.
So in his mind, this whole idea of, because this movie is based in what, the 70s?
The 70s, yeah.
Right? Like maybe late 70s or somewhere in the 70s.
Say, yeah.
Right? So
Batman.
at that time, those kind of movies, musicals and stuff were like, or TV shows that were musicals and stuff were a big thing. Right? So of course that's the kind of mindset that he has and wants of the world around him. So I can completely understand why it was a musical, but the fact that you didn't warn people, maybe they thought, oh, this is going to be such a nice surprise for the audience. It wasn't.
But I mean, you got to take strongly in consideration that Harley Quinn is played by Lady Gaga.
True.
Who is in theater, or who was in theater, and you know, as you may know, and I'm pretty sure it's the movie was heavily influenced by her, like what she wanted to do in that movie. You know what I mean?
So it was basically revolved around her then, Harley Quinn?
Or Lady Gaga, I think.
Lady Gaga.
I want to think personally.
You know,
that sucks if that was the case.
No, you know what though?
But she did great.
She did great.
Yeah.
No. Awesome. I agree. I think everybody did a great job in the movie. Performance-wise, all were successful.
Yeah.
I don't think at no point did I say, "Wow, you're really bad at this." I was very engaged the entire time. There was this level of depression and sadness that I had for Arthur. I'm just like, I feel so bad for his character. Like, and he sold his character so great. And then you had Lady Gaga, right? Harley Quinn, who is just like stop listening to her. Yeah. She is bad for you, bro. She's a bad influence on you. She's not helping your case. But like, I did when I watched that their preview or their trailer, what the heck ever you want to call it, the thing that I was watching, I saw Lady Gaga. I'm like, oh, interesting. Why did they pick Lady Gaga to be be Harley in this? That probably should have been the first sign that it's going to be a musical.
I think it was because she did that one movie or series, Gucci.
She was good at Gucci.
Yeah, she did Gucci. Did she sing in that?
No, there was no singing in that.
What?
Okay. So yeah, then I'm like, is it because of her persona that she played in Gucci that she hit the Harley Quinn, aside from her being an amazing singer, performer, songwriter. And my goodness, like you said, I was not ready for the music, but before I watched it, I kind of understood that people saying that it was a musical because they're singing so much. I was like, okay, but I did not know on Google it counted itself as a musical. If you look it up, if you look at the movie, it says musical on there, and I was just like, did they even put that in the trailers? I watched maybe 2 trailers. I forgot Joker 2 was coming out at all. And when you brought it up, I think you were the one that brought it up, right? Joker 2?
No, I think it was Randolph.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Joker 2, I would just say, oh, snap, okay.
I like the first one a lot, I thought we could...
That first one was rough for me, man. The first one was rough.
No, I mean, both... I guess it just depends what you're looking for, right? Because I think, for better or worse... Heath Ledger kind of spoiled us with Joker.
Yeah,
right.
Definitely.
You have an image of what the Joker is, and then this is not the same Joker.
Yeah.
Right. This Joker, it's a lot slower. It's not like action packed. There's nothing action packed about it. Batman doesn't show up at any point in this entire movie, right? So it's like it's super slow, super just torturous. The character is just this person who's just so defeated by everybody in the world. Nobody gets him, and he doesn't know how to socialize, how to overcome that discomfort of his life. Right. So it's just like he's kind of stuck there. So yeah, no, completely. I watched Joker 1 and I had to really sit there and go, did I like this movie?
Yeah.
And a part of me did, because I do like the whole like psychological part of what the Joker was. But the other part was like, it was so slow. It was like, I think it's also about 2 hours long.
Yes,
the
2 hours and 2 minutes.
Well, the second one's 2 hours, 2 minutes. Is the first one also 2 hours and 2 minutes?
Oh, no. It's 2 hours. Though.
Yeah. No, it's a long movie. So you're sitting there for 2 hours and you're going, ooh, when are we going to get to something good?
Yeah.
Because it doesn't get good until practically the end of the movie where he starts shooting everybody. And I'm talking about the first movie, right? The first Joker.
Yeah, same. Yeah, at that 1 hour cut where he starts fighting back, I guess.
Breaking?
In a sense. Yeah, when he snapped, that is when things got really well done and written. I felt so bad though, and she shows up again in the second one. The girl that played Domino, but she was the neighbor.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, it's Domino. I was like, oh, multiverse. But anyway, she was the neighbor, and he went into her house, and I was like, bro, I'm like, I don't think Joker would ever do that without ill intent, right?
Yeah.
But he was actually reaching out. That was his way of reaching out, because that was his social awkwardness going.
Yeah, but he was just so.
And because he was disheveled and everything like that, I didn't like the fact that he was so malnourished. It looked like. I was like, bro, do you not eat?
So good. I was actually sitting there wondering, it's like, is that like
I'm pretty sure that's
effects, or was he really that like?
Pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure some of that had to be effects, right? Because his shoulder blades were very protruding, like they were out there, and I'm like, that seems too unhealthy for you to have just to go into that meta acting, and then act just lose 1,000 pounds and look like
Christian Bale's done something like that.
Yeah, he did it for Love and Thunder, I think.
No,
Not
that
right.
one. Even smaller.
It was a different movie. Yeah,
he
movie
did.
Altogether.
But to get to the point where Arthur was, where Hakeem.
Yeah.
Was that?
Joaquin Phoenix.
Joaquin. No, that's.
Yeah. Well, that just shows how
dangerous.
What kind of abuse he's going through in Arkham Hospital.
Yeah.
So it shows in the movie what is being done to him.
Is it Arkham Hospital or Arkham Asylum?
He's not in the asylum. He's in Arkham. He's in the hospital.
Prison.
He's an inmate.
Oh yeah.
He's in the prison. Yeah.
Arkham prison.
But yeah, that just shows the kind of abuse that he has to endure in there. All I thought was, oh, you don't have a joke for us today, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And the reason why he's kept quiet and
because he was on the drugs.
Yeah. The drugs.
So if we were to break down this character in this one, or the second movie versus the first, you see that he's obviously trying to, I guess, do better, even with the lawyer helping him. And the lawyer was so a supportive, right?
Yeah.
And
the only person on his team.
100%. And then you had Lady Gaga, and literally she manipulated him, which is so weird because the Joker doesn't think twice about this woman.
Right.
You know what I mean? But he's just like, she's on my side. So this is what actually kind of made me think, what Joker is this? Because I've heard of a Joker where he was, he was treated terrible at work, treated terrible at home, and then he ends up in an accident, and then his skin goes pale.
He falls in
some kind of
some kind of acid
acid.
pit.
Yeah, and his hair turns green. Yeah, but all these Jokers that I remember from like either comic books and the animated series or even the other movies was that the Joker not only played pranks, and entertained people, but one of his tropes was to show the real people or the real versions of society, because everybody's like he talks about like, oh, everybody's nice. No, they're not. Right? It's like everybody's, just chill out. That's why he says, why so serious? He believes that people aren't not normally good. They only think of themselves. They're selfish people. And he embellishes on that. He like makes it out there for everybody to know. And this Arthur Fleck did not do that. But he was on the way to, but then this lawyer, drugs, and Harley Quinn kind of messed him up big time. The cops would have helped a little bit, I thought. I thought the cops played I thought they played great characters for the Joker. Yeah. Because I was just like, ooh, this could be really good. Whether it's good for the Joker or bad for the Joker. These cops are playing awesome.
Yeah, so right after I watched the movie, we watched it on Tuesday, right? Wednesday, I did a little bit of research because I'm like, I want to know why. I just want to know more information about it. But then I got some more insights from Todd Phillips, the director. So one thing that fans fail to kind of recognize is that if you notice that the title of the film is Joker, so we're not talking about the Joker, we're talking about a Joker, which means there's multiple in there, as it shows in the very end of the film. So, and he was saying that this is not the origin story, but an origin story of a Joker. And so I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, that's actually kind of true, because Arthur Fleck, he was, like you said, he was doing well, and then he got messed up by Harley Quinn, or Lee in the film, the lawyer, and then being hyped up by all the other people, and then the one who set up the car bomb. Those are all Jokers, So he was already going into the right path, but then, something happens in the end, of course, and we see, at the very end what he was doing and stuff. Like, so we got another Joker right there. So in my head, I'm like, okay, so maybe Arthur Fleck is kind of like an inspiration for the actual Joker that came out at the end of the film.
You should just explain it. Just explain the end.
The end. Okay, so basically the end part, another inmate.
Oh, I'm so mad.
Yeah.
I'm so mad at that ending.
I was heartbroken by the ending.
No, yeah. I think I was too. Because he was just walking out, like, strolling along. He had a smile on his face, and he had a visitor because he was thinking it was Lee.
Which, by the way, who is the visitor?
I don't think there was.
You don't think so? You think the
police officer?
There wasn't. There was a trap. It was totally a trap. So if you think about it, how far ahead, why would the guard need to be all the way up front? And Arthur's like way back there. When you're walking inside of a prison cell, don't you think you need to be escorted all the way there together? So the reason why the guard left, so hear no evil, see no evil, So he didn't see anything. Speak no evil. Therefore, the other dude, the inmate, and how many times was this inmate like
watching him
focused on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you notice?
Yeah, no, I noticed. I was like, every time they focused on this guy,
I'm like, who's this guy?
Yeah, I was the same thing.
Like, why?
At first, I thought it was the other kid, the one that like followed Arthur. Yeah. I thought it was him. I'm like, no, his hair looks different.
Yeah.
And then they just kept focusing on him every once in a while. I'm like, who is this
guy?
dude?
Yeah, who is it?
Why are we showing this guy? I'm like, at the end, I was so mad. I'm like, how did I not catch this? You know how I like catching things beforehand. I'm like, how did I not catch this beforehand? But go on.
The music was messing you up. The music was definitely...
Yeah. I couldn't get through the musical.
Yeah. So this, to me, this whole film is it messes with your head a lot.
Yeah.
A lot. Like I'll get that too. I'll get there in just a second. But the ending part, anyways, that the inmate comes around and says, "Hey, I have a joke for you, but I want to make sure I want to run it by you to see if it's okay with you." And then Arthur's like, "Oh, what the heck? Do you guys remember what the joke was?" Because
Yeah.
go ahead.
Yeah. It was.
I know it was like a Joker and a sociopath walk into a bar.
Yeah. Yeah. A Joker and a sociopath walking apart, and what is it? And then the sociopath asks him a question. I think it's something like that. And
tell
then
him a joke.
Huh?
I think he wanted to tell him a joke, and he said like knock knock.
Yeah.
And then well, you want me to finish it, or you're gonna say
Yeah.
Oh, and then he stabs him in the freaking chest multiple times, and you're just sitting there going, "What the heck?"
After he says, "Get what you deserve," I didn't get that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He said, "Doctor, who's there?" Is like, "You get what you deserve," and then he stabbed him. And I'm like, I also was very confused about that. I'm like, "Get your what he deserve." Did he kill? Was one of the people he killed like your brother
Murray, your
or
dad
something?
Yeah.
Like, or were you a fan of Murray? Is that I don't understand why you hate him so much. But he's also a sociopath or a psychopath, so he really does that. Does he really need a reason to do what he does?
Exactly.
Right?
And to be fair, I only watched both movies once. Like I bet
Same.
you if I do like one and
Same.
two again, I'd probably be able to figure out certain questions or
Yeah.
answers to my questions, like
we didn't catch
the
that.
deserve part. And I'm like, And then I thought to myself, well, this is DC, so someone could throw Joker in the Lazarus pit.
We got 30 mics here. Which
True.
one are you gonna drop?
True, I guess. But so to finish off what you were saying, like he gets stabbed constantly, and you're just sitting there going, "What is happening?"
Yeah.
And of course, doesn't he start singing the song again?
Yeah, because okay, now let's bring it back. Bring it back to why all the musicals. Have you noticed that every musical that was being shown, it was like dream and then we got reality.
Yeah.
When they were singing outside, they were dancing the same dance in his dream as Joker.
Right.
So now that last part, oh my gosh, like he gets stabbed in his dream and everything.
Yeah. No.
Or he gets shot by Lady Gaga, right?
Yeah. Harley Quinn shoots him in a previous of his like delusions, right? Where they're singing that song and they're like show host or whatever, and she shoots him. And then that's the same scene, like after he gets stabbed by the guy.
That's a huge foreshadow we never picked up.
Right.
I'm like, bro.
Exactly. So yeah, I completely agree. I mean, the whole musical is just we're going into his delusion of what things he thinks is happening. Arthur is just completely broken mentally, and like we were saying, the lawyer is the only person who was on his side, who's trying to get him help. He can't be in prison. He needs to be in an institution to get help, right? But all these other forces, Harley Quinn being the biggest one, like changing him, like, no, you don't need to do that. She's just trying to stop you. You're the Joker, right? And you're just sitting there going, bro, you're crazy.
And it's crazy that they didn't even think of putting him in the asylum in the beginning, because, I mean, like, he was already awkward, right? But if he's awkward, no, he's definitely in his right mind. You know what I mean? I'm like, that doesn't make any sense to me, right?
Right.
Because I was thinking, like, why is he an inmate and not in the asylum?
So I will argue that it's because it's the 70s. And mental health wasn't as like, like looked at as like, oh, this person is just mentally disturbed. They need help. No, they're just evil people. They need to go to jail.
Yep.
Right. So I would imagine a lot of people in like pre-90s, let's just say, went through a lot of that, right?
Yeah.
And so that I would say that's the argument to that. To go back to him getting stabbed.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
So
he gets stabbed, falls on the ground. That little dream comes, and then as the camera pans over to Arthur Fleck's body in the background, blurred away, you can see where the person who stabbed him is laughing hysterically. And as soon as I saw that, I turned over to Paulina and I said, babe, that's the real Joker right there.
Yep.
He's right there. He's cutting himself. Ooh, just like Heath Ledger.
Okay. So now talking about that, my wife and I, we were having an issue.
Yeah.
So so that was the craziest thing, right? We just sat there. You realize he wasn't the Joker, like you were saying. He's just a Joker.
Correct.
Right? The Joker, we're assuming, is probably the psychopath behind him.
Probably,
Right?
yeah.
I say with a lot of confidence that might be him because he cuts his mouth open, right? Because Heath Ledger's character cut his mouth open.
Oh, yeah.
Here is my only problem, that he can't be the same Joker as the one in Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight.
No.
The reason, and my argument is because let's say even if this guy is 18 years old, right, and Dark Knight came out or the second one came out, or
2007, I believe, 2008.
Is that when the second one came out?
Heath Ledger's one?
Yeah.
The one with Heath Ledger.
I want to say 2008, but let me go ahead. I'll
So
fact.
that would make him still like 50, 60 years old, right? He's 18.
2008.
2008. So let's go. Okay, so let's say he's 18, right?
Okay.
So 70, 80, 90, 2000. So 30 years. It'd make him 40, maybe. Actually, it could be him. He'd be like 40 something years old. He might. Is Heath Ledger's Joker in his 40s when Dark Knight came out?
I think they're the same age.
I'm gonna shut down that whole thing.
Why?
And it's not gonna be a Heath Ledger. If you paid attention in Dark Knights, do you want to know how I got these scars?
Right.
He explains it, and his mom is the one who gave him those scars.
No.
Or was it? Did he do it? Because it wasn't in jail. He didn't explain it to me.
Every time he asked,
Yeah.
you want to know how he got these scars? He gave every person a different story. He never gave a correct answer to why he got the scar. His dad cut him up. Somebody else cut him up. It was an accident.
Himself.
Yeah. Like it was a bunch of. He never gave the right answer.
Okay.
Right. So is this guy
the Heath Ledger
Joker or Christopher Nolan's Joker? I don't know. If it because I thought that what is that, Dark Knight Returns? Is that what that one is?
The Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah, I thought they came out in maybe 2000. I thought it was like 2012, 13 or something. So, but you said it's 2007, right?
2008 is Dark Knight.
That's the second one.
Yeah, the second one, Dark Knight with Heath Ledger, 2008.
Yeah, so he might be in his 40s, and I would argue that maybe Heath Ledger's character is probably in his 40s.
I don't know.
How old was Heath Ledger when he died? Probably in his 40s.
Probably.
It might be the same person. So that was my argument, because I thought it was much later, and I was like, no, this guy would be like freaking 60 years old. Like,
I was just like,
it can't be Heath Ledger's Joker, because there is no other Joker that cuts his mouth. There's no other Joker that I know of other than Heath Ledger's has scars on his mouth.
But I don't think that. So that kid, right? You guys think that he's the one that could be the next Joker?
That he is the Joker.
I want to say
I don't think he is, because the Joker is actually relatively smart.
True.
So you think? Oh,
I don't think that kid is very smart, but we haven't seen.
So you think he was sent by the real Joker?
He could have been sent, or he could have just wanted to kill Arthur.
I mean, that's true. All of these are very big possibilities.
Yeah.
I only say that it might be him because there is no other reason for the director. I forgot his name.
Todd Phillips. Todd Phillips. Yeah.
There is no other reason that he chose to have this character cut his mouth open if it isn't to to point to Heath Ledger's Joker, being that Heath Ledger's Joker is the only Joker that ever had scars in his mouth. That's my argument for it. And now that you tell me that one was earlier in the 2000s, it makes me feel more secure that it might be the same person. And the thing is, there's so many different Joker like origin stories, right? We can go all the way back to Tim Burton's Batman, right?
Yeah.
Who is that the person who shot
Jack Nicholson.
Yeah, Jack Nicholson. The person Jack Frost, I think was his name, or Frost. No, something Frost. I forgot the character's name. That Frost was who killed Bruce's parents is also the Joker, but that's not always the case.
Joe Chill. I think it was Joe Chill.
Joe Frost.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure Frost is the last name.
Oh my
I want to say
gosh,
Frost is
Joe
the last
Chill?
name.
Joe Chill.
Joe Chill.
Joe Chill.
But there's also the version where the Joker was originally part of the Red Hood gang, right? And so he then became the Joker,
like the alternative of the Red Hood. Yeah.
Right. Well, after Jason Todd gets freaking mentally screwed with by the Joker, he then becomes the Red Hood in order to get vengeance on the Joker. Right? He takes his old identity. That's why he becomes the Red Hood. But so you have all these different versions. There's a lot of origin
stories, yeah.
And so which one is the right one? It's up to you.
It could be his own.
It could be his own because
That's true.
Right now, from what I understand is that James Gunn is not including this specific Joker, not even Pattinson's Batman, Robert Pattinson's Batman. They're not in the DC.
I was like, I don't know who Pattinson is. But it not in my head. I just never know people's names. So I was like, I don't know who Pattinson is.
Just call him Pattinson, Robert Pattinson. Anyways, yeah. Those are considered Elseworld. They're not in the main timeline of where Superman Legacy
they're not canon.
Yeah,
right,
Canon? Yeah.
They're not canon. But I want to say that it may be connected to Heath Ledger's Joker, but it may be connected to Robert Pattinson's Batman because he is pretty young. We got Robert Pattinson's Batman young too. Maybe they're trying to
Okay.
Just a speculation here.
Okay.
Because there's no Joker in the Batman. There's
not
Penguin.
yet.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. But no, not incorrect. There is.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And at the end of the movie, where
that's right. He was in
the dude from Eternals.
Yeah, the Riddler gets put in jail or whatever.
Yeah.
They show the Joker. He's still a kid. He's not the Joker yet. But you're assuming it's him because the freaky laugh that he does.
Yeah.
Right. The cackle.
But I mean, it doesn't have to be played by the same character.
No, true.
But I don't know.
He was already in prison, so you could make the argument that is the same person, just played by two different people.
Or maybe that's the real Joker that sent that one dude to kill Arthur. Who knows? We're gonna find out hopefully in the future.
I will.
2026.
I will say that that's actually probably not the case, being that the Pattinson's Batman is done later in the timeline, while Joker is done in the 70s. They're not done in the same timeline, so he can't be a kid in Joker and also be a kid in Batson.
Because you did
Batman.
Because you did.
I'm just saying. I'm sure there are going to be people like, well, that can't be right. I'm already on top of it. You don't have to worry. I just pulled the heck out of that. It's okay. We're still connected.
Okay.
But yeah. Joker, anyone?
Yeah, I mean, that was probably okay. Now that we've talked about possible real Jokers,
origin stories,
and it was kind of sad to realize that this guy was not the Joker, which makes a lot of sense because once again, he's kind of a pathetic character, and that's not who the Joker is. And you're just like, wow, this guy is weak
and smart. He was a lot smarter than most people. Or
he's
maybe because his cynicism made him smarter. Maybe, I don't know, because if he can combat a lot of things that made Batman have to think.
I think, is the Joker smart? I mean, I think he is intelligent. I wouldn't say he's more intelligent than Bruce Wayne.
Oh, definitely not. No.
Right? I think what gave the Joker his quality isn't intelligence. It's just the fact that he just didn't give a flip about anything. He just he is chaotic evil. Yeah. Period.
He's not. Yeah. Exactly. He's unpredictable basically. And the thing is with Batman, he plans, but knowing that Joker's unpredictable, that's what makes Batman his worst nemesis.
Yeah. Because he while Batman is constantly restraining himself from doing things that would break his morals,
like Jason Todd would.
Yeah, exactly. The Joker had no morals. He's like, everything is fair game. I don't. So now I want to just say one thing. If you pull out all of the musical from this movie and just watched it and imagine it was the same way that Joker 1 was done, is it a good movie?
No.
No, I want to say.
And I tell you why.
Go ahead.
Because the ending.
Okay.
The movie was pretty decent up to the ending, and it totally just shattered the rest that just happened for me.
So you were
not saying that I recommend that don't watch it, but for me, because of how it ended, what? You know what I mean? Like
you walked out and said, well, that was 2 hours wasted of my life.
No.
I think a lot of people did.
I felt like kind of like how we got into the whole conversation of which Joker is this? We now know that this is a standalone Joker film.
Yeah.
Obviously, you said that James Gunn isn't going to use this character. Okay, so he must be a standalone Joker. And then that means that he has his own story. His story was actually pretty good because he was suffering from trying to be a good person or trying to be Arthur Fleck and also trying to be Joker, but he didn't know which one to be.
Yeah.
And he'd get hurt deciding on which persona to choose. He'd get his heart broken if he's Arthur Fleck. He would get physically broken if he was the Joker.
Yep.
Like he had no, and I was just like, wow, this is crazy.
It was literally an identity crisis.
Yeah, and the first movie, right? It reminded me of a lot of the Japanese and Korean dramas where they make one guy just the butt of everything, the butt of the joke, the criminal of the area because he's just there. That's what they made Arthur Fleck to be when in the first movie. In the second movie, it got even worse. He was in the prison and not in the asylum. But again, like you said, it was in the 70s, or I think it was a lot earlier. But that makes another thing too. In that time, like you would think that he would be a little bit more jokey, you know. He didn't do a lot of jokes. And yeah, there was no joking. There was more singing.
There's a lot of singing.
And by the
singing.
way, I knew singing was in it, like I said, but I didn't know it was a musical. I knew singing was in it, so I looked past it.
Yeah.
Oh no, I looked past it the first 2-3 songs, but once we got to the fourth song, and I'm just like another one? Are we serious?
Social media implied that it was a musical. So I went in, thinking it's going to be a musical. I like prepared myself. But every 15 minutes.
Not you're giving it too much credit. It was like every 2 minutes. Like
bad,
they
sorry,
stopped one song, talked for for 2 lines, and then started up another song.
On the third or fourth song, I looked over to my wife and I'm like, they're gonna sing. Watch. Sure enough, they're over here singing.
But a lot of it wasn't even. A lot of it weren't original music. It was like cover tunes.
No,
Yeah.
That made me mad. I was like, you gonna put music in here as a musical? You write new music. My goodness. Because if they did, and those songs hit, the movie would be that much greater. I feel like, where did the budget go? In the Melodyne? Lady Gaga don't need it though, just letting you know. She freaking killed it. Awesome job. Weird to do in this movie, but awesome job. Lady Gaga, man, frick yeah. One of my favorite vocalists.
Unlike you, I didn't know that there was going to be any music in this. I went into Joker 2 blind.
No.
Blind. The only thing I knew about the Joker 2 was that it was going to be a Joker 2 and that Lady Gaga was in it. That was it. Nothing else. I was just like, oh, okay, cool. Finally, we get to see, he just shot Murray. We're going to see what happens to the rest of him. Does he finally become the Joker that we all know and love/hate? No.
That we all are familiar with.
Yeah. But so I'm just sitting there going, I literally looking at my wife going, what
do we get ourselves into?
What is this? What is happening?
Who signed up for this?
I'm like, now I understand why everybody else didn't show up to the movie. It's just me and her in the back by herself, just going.
You're like, dang.
And my wife was worse than I was. She every time a new song started, she's like, again. She's like, another one.
It must have been out loud because there's nobody in there.
Yeah. No, she was like,
again.
I'm like, it's okay. I think it's a musical. I was like, I don't care.
Imagine the person in the very front of the theater.
If only.
I'm trying to listen.
I'm trying to.
Yo.
They probably thought there was nobody in this movie theater because the cleaning crew came in
oh, no way.
10-15 minutes before the movie was done. And she walks in, looks up at us, and goes,
it's like, oh, there's people.
There's people.
There's people.
And then she just sits down and watches the rest of the movie.
Watching it or on her phone. And I'm like, you're seriously just chilling in here? That's wild.
And then, luckily, I went up to her because I was like, "Is there like end credit scene or something like that?" And she's like, "No, there's no end credit scene." And I'm like, "Okay, thank goodness," because I'm not gonna sit here for another 20 minutes for this credits to finish.
I went on my phone. I always check on my phone.
I checked on my phone too and said there wasn't, but I just wanted to make sure because they usually know. They usually watch all the stuff already. So I was like, "Oh, let me go ask the worker and find out."
The people.
Yeah,
I can't believe it, man.
So Okay, so you say no, it was not. It's not good, even if you pull out the musical. Do you think it was good if they pulled out the musical part?
Take out half of the songs, and I'll be fine with it. Reason why is because the music does, not the music itself, but like the fact that there's music in there, kind of gives it a Delulu kind of sense for the two.
You really said Delulu just now.
He sure
I
did.
said Delulu, guys.
Yeah.
A delusional sense for the two.
Yeah.
For Lee and Fleck.
Yeah.
Because they're crazy. They're like, they're crazy in love for each other. And Arthur Fleck is about to die because he's getting the death sentence. And he's trying to like figure out if he should be Joker. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, let's do it. But like, okay, maybe 50% of the songs, shorten the songs maybe. And I'll be good with it, honestly.
Yeah.
I'll be
So
good.
if half of it, so then if you did take out the music, you would be okay with that.
I think I'll be okay because I understand his character. I understand, like, again, in the animated series, he comes out, Harley Quinn's out there, and he'd be like, he wouldn't be on
number.
He wouldn't be on key or anything, but he would just be singing and stuff.
Yeah.
And here comes Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Justice.
For singing on the wrong key.
Did you like the first one?
Oh, I love this first one.
You thought it was good?
Yeah.
Did you like the first one?
I mean, it was Grammy nominated.
It was good. It was all right.
I think that's where the yes and no come from, right?
From the
he
first
says
one.
no. He says no because if you pull out the musical, the second one is no different from the first one in the movement of the right. It's still slow, right? But you enjoyed the first one, so even if you pull out the musical, it still has the same feel, right?
Yeah.
You get everything but the music,
Yeah.
right? I liked the first one for the reason I said it was like that kind of mind like.
Slow torture. You like that?
No. The psychology.
You said it so well, Randolph.
I know.
You like that?
Randolph today has been just sassy as all get up.
Dude. Whoa.
We've been dealing with it all day. No, but like
Hey.
I like the psychology, the psychological part of the movie. Right, that was good. The musical I didn't like. So I would say that if you pulled out the musical, I would enjoy it.
Yeah.
Right, because I enjoy. I don't like how slow it is. That's for sure. It's so boring how slow it moves. But the psychology, the torture that he goes through, is like, oh, it's so good. Like he does a good job selling it to you.
Yeah.
Even though I didn't like the musical part, like you, I completely understand why they had the musical. Right, because it's his delusions that we're watching. Did we need 20 freaking numbers
No,
in there?
definitely not.
Definitely. Freaking Lion King doesn't have 20 numbers.
DC.
Yeah, I guess. But I'm like, why do you have so many songs in here? We could have figured it out with less song. I don't know. But so I completely agree. I think it would have been. I thought it would have been great without all of it. So here's my next question: do you feel bad seeing Harley Quinn in this? Do you feel bad for Harley Quinn later?
Nope.
No.
She's a freaking piece of trash.
Yeah.
She
she's
she
garbage.
literally did to him what the Joker does to her later. It's like, oh, you're not.
Or most Jokers does to most Harleys.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you're not worth my time. You know, you're whatever. I've used you up. I don't need you no more, right?
And she said,
she's
bye,
like,
Arthur. I was like,
yeah.
She's like,
that's cold.
Joker. Come on.
She wanted Joker,
Arthur.
but she got,
You dare call me by my real name?
Her outfit was fly, though.
The
red one? Yeah.
Yeah. That was
like,
so good.
oh, that's
My
dope.
wife loved the shadow eyeshadow, whatever the heck you call it. Yeah, that was really good too. I thought her whole outfit at the end was fantastic. I'm like, that's Harley Quinn. You're doing a great job, and the Joker was really good too. Like his outfit really matched the Joker feel to me.
Yeah.
I thought he was good.
Yeah, Harvey Dent was okay too, you know.
Harvey Dent.
Oh, Harvey Dent.
Oh my gosh.
Piece of trash, dude.
What an arrogant.
That's usually Harvey Dent. The Harvey Dent of Christopher Nolan's Batman is like more like honorable.
Yeah.
Harvey Dent is never like that in reality.
He started off that way though. He started off not honorable, but he was a family man. Remember? At least in the animated Batman, he was once a respected person. And
Yeah, this is the DA. Come on.
yeah, he was. Yeah,
You're right.
Yeah,
You're right.
And then he became when he became Two-Face.
He flipped the script.
Yeah, but what's weird is that you remember how the car bomb blew up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had like a little skin ripped off. I was like, is that it?
Yeah. That's what I thought so too.
I was like, half his face should be ripped right now.
No, it was quite a bit of his face was like all.
Yeah. Maybe it's in the process of spreading out.
Maybe.
Well, and then you have to think about what's the severity of his face?
Right.
Is it once again Christopher Nolan's severity? Because that is pretty severe. He was missing an entire cheek.
His freaking eyeball was
his
Right.
eyeball, yeah.
Right, but if you have the George Clooney version and pretty much the cartoon version as well, it's just very
Tommy Lee Jones.
yeah.
Tommy Lee Jones was Two-Face. That's right.
From Christopher Nolan. George Clooney.
With
Yeah.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man, that was a good movie.
That was good.
I like that movie.
I'm sure if I watched it now, it would be super cheesy. I know everybody
It's
always
super
like,
cheesy.
what? One of the biggest memes is, why do your suits have nipples? George Clooney even makes that around. He's like, I don't know why our suits have nipples. I always bust up when I hear that. But
Oh my
but
God.
all of those Two Faces were just third degree burn scarring
Yeah.
on their face, right? So it depends how what kind of severity you're looking for. But yeah, no, it was pretty cool to see that at the end, as he's panning away, and you kind of just see Harvey
Yeah.
Dent sitting there, and you just see half of his face is all jacked up. It's like, Two Face. Right?
Oh my gosh. There's just so many origin stories to Batman and Batman's
We should make one.
villains,
Yeah. We should.
gosh, the nerdy volume.
The nerdy volume.
Like his
Burst.
parents get isekai.
They what?
Like Bruce Wayne's parents get isekai to another world. You know what I'm saying?
Instead of dying.
Instead of dying, yeah.
And then when he becomes an old man, like Batman Beyond,
Batman Beyond.
his parents finally come back to
Yeah.
the real world.
Like the Osan from the real
We're
world.
doing it.
There's another origin story.
If there are any anime drawers out there, let us know.
Okay, so getting into the Easter eggs, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a ton. Just like you said with the Harvey Dent, we saw his face
Yeah.
in there. In the first movie, we saw the parents get killed at the
Mm-hmm.
theater. There's obviously there's more, but it's cool that the second one had it, but in such small frames. Like you'd have to actually catch it. Like how you guys saw the dude cutting his mouth. Like you'd have to catch that. Like other than being angry. Like me, I was angry at that. I was just like, what is this dude doing? I thought he cut his neck. I was like, did he just kill himself? Stupid. So there were tons, but does it matter to this story? Does Harvey Denton's face being jacked up like that? Does it matter to Joker's story? I don't think so.
None of it doesn't continue, no.
Bruce Wayne's parents dying. Is that anything to do with Arthur Fleck? I don't think so because it wasn't his fault.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I think that even though there's Easter eggs,
Yeah.
unless I doubt they'll get a third movie because of the love they got for this movie. I do think that it's possible to do a third one, but if they do a third one with this Joker, it probably won't be a Joker
It'd be
film.
with Batman.
It'll be a Batman, or it would be with Ra's al Ghul,
Wow.
because that's where the Lazarus Pit would be.
Right, so they can bring him back.
So they can bring that guy back.
No, it makes
Gosh.
complete sense.
Yeah.
Complete sense.
It would have to make complete sense because it's DC,
It's
dude.
these guys.
And Ra's al Ghul is a bad guy.
He sure is.
yeah.
It's also Bruce Wayne's father-in-law.
Yep.
Well, kind of. Baby daddy, baby
mama?
father-in-law.
Baby mama, you know?
Mama.
One of the craziest stories, in my opinion, is him and what's her name?
Talia.
Talia al Ghul.
Talia.
Yeah, I'm just like, oh,
Damien.
we went there, huh?
Damian Wayne.
Do you know how you were made, Damien? Because Bruce doesn't either.
Yo, he's an animal. That guy's a player.
I think that's the Robin who's coming in Brave and the Bold Batman.
Oh,
The one that James
Damien?
Gunn- Yeah, I think that's gonna be that Robin.
Brave and the Bold, is it a live action?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. James Gunn's gonna. Brave and the
Okay.
Bold.
No. Sure.
So I'm interested to see how.
Wait. Okay. I guess I have to see first because
I think it's because they got tired of all the other Robins.
No.
They should just make him.
Well, which is kind of weird because there's only been one. The one with George Clooney. Is the only Robin they've ever had.
No, there was a Robin from the Christopher Nolan one at the end.
Nah, that's not Robin. You can't.
That's Nightwing.
No, first of all,
Nightwing.
Was it his name Robin?
Yes, his name was Robin. First of all,
not Robin, yeah.
None of the Robins were
I thought
named
his name was
Robin.
Tim Drake.
Tim Drake?
Okay,
And
so
Dark
you-
Knight Returns?
Yeah, the last one.
It could have been, but Tim Drake is the. So you had.
He's Red Hood or the Red Robin.
He's the Red Robin, right?
Tim Drake, yeah.
Where the heck are the other two?
So what we got Dick Grayson.
Yeah,
Jason
OG.
Todd.
Jason
Todd.
Tim Drake.
Tim Drake.
And then
Damian Wayne.
Uh-huh.
And then Barbara.
Nobody cares. That's not a Robin.
She's a Robin. She's a Robin. Barbara Gordon.
Barbara Gordon is Batgirl.
Yeah, but
Eventually,
Barbara
yeah.
Girl, yeah, she is Batgirl.
But no,
I think gets paralyzed, so
There's-
she
there's-
can't even do that.
She turns into Overwatch, I think, her name?
Yes.
She turns into Overwatch.
Yes,
I
yes,
think.
yes.
Oh, sorry. Pounding my ring against the metal part of my chair here.
No, you're right though. You're right.
so I guess we can get into the
grades,
grades
yeah.
of the film.
Before we do, I just want to mention one more thing. This is probably the thing that made me almost cry every time I heard it. Was his laugh. Like when he was
Oh
in the
my
when he was
gosh.
in the bus,
Yeah.
and he was trying not to cry, and he would force himself to laugh, and it was just like that heart wrenching laughter of him like stopping himself from crying. And you have to like if you watch the first one, you realize that it's because his mom hated when he cried, so he had to laugh all the time. So I'm just like, this poor man is going through so much, and nobody gives a fart about him except for his lawyer, who then he just fires. And I'm just like,
He fired nicely, by the way.
Kiss him goodbye.
It's true.
Oh yeah, he kissed her like twice.
Yeah. Yeah, he had
She's
real
like,
problems.
Arthur. Oh my God, stop.
Stop it. Oh my God.
Oh my God, stop. Oh my gosh.
And that speaks to the lawyer's character.
Yeah.
Right? She didn't get upset with him because she knows that he's mentally ill, and it's not his fault that he's behaving the way he is. So she's like, Arthur, stop. No, that's not how we do. Like she's not like put off and like, I don't want to talk to you. Right? So
Didn't she tell Lady Gaga's character that he was gonna die anyways when Lee approached her, when all those reporters came up to her and stuff after the first courtroom?
Whenever she walked up to her and she's like, what the f- are you doing?
Yeah, what are you doing?
You're messing this case up.
And she goes, he's gonna die anyways, or something like that. Like he's not gonna win or whatever.
Not the way everything is going.
Dang.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he shot a guy on live TV. There's no like, did he do it? Was it
him or was it his other guy?
That was
was
the
a
argument.
stunt double.
I mean, that was the argument the entire time, right? That it wasn't him; it was his alternate personality that was doing it.
I think he went back into prison because of him confessing about his mother.
It's not Arthur Fleck. It was Arturo Fleck that shot him.
Exactly.
Gosh, that was not his arm either.
For the grades, so the music was fine. I looked past it because I knew it was there, but I didn't know it was a musical. I knew it was there. It was fine. Lady Gaga crushed it. Like I keep saying, she did awesome. There was a song that she did. She was on the piano and she was just rocking it with a full band, by the way. And I was like, this is dope.
She was on 2, I think.
Yeah, two. She had two. Yeah. And I was like, this is dope. This is too dope. And I don't know. I could only think of the song "Just an Illusion." You know, I could only think that when she was on the double keys. And I was like, you know what? Awesome performance. Didn't need to be in the movie. Mm-hmm. The movie was good until the end. If I were to take out all the music parts, and the ending really crushed a ton of things, expectations, especially expectations. Like if Todd Phillips was trying to say, "Hey, this is it," then good job, he did it. You know what I mean? If he wasn't, wow, what a movie in my case. But if I were to give it a grade, I'm gonna give it a D. I can't give it an F because of the ending. I was personally angry at, but the whole thing about him ending it, and I'm just like, the Joker never really got something dope. I mean, because he's obviously the protagonist in this series, so you want to see something good come out of it, but nothing good came at the end, and I didn't want to see a musical, but we got one, and so I'm like,
I didn't want to see a musical.
So that's my grade is a D.
You want me to go next?
Yeah, go ahead.
I also give it a D. I didn't think it was going to be a musical at all. Getting a musical was very disappointing to me. And it's not because I don't like musicals. I love me a good musical. I can't wait for Wicked to come out. I hope they do a great job with it. I'm looking forward to that.
Oh man, Wicked's
other
gonna
green
be
villain,
great.
huh?
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that movie because it's a musical and I'm
Yeah.
expecting it. This one I wasn't expecting it.
And it's
Harley
Disney.
Quinn or Lady Gaga did a great job playing Harley Quinn. I hated her the entire time of the movie. I'm like, you are just not working out for this guy.
I mean, she did a good job as a character.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I hated her character.
Yeah.
Right. So she did a great job. The same thing. All of them did great.
Yeah.
Every single person in this did a great job playing their character.
Yeah.
I felt nothing but pity and sadness for Arthur. I was very confused by I'm guessing the head warden guy or the prison dude. I'm like, do you hate Arthur? Do you like Arthur? Or are you just using him as an entertainment? I'm guessing. His character was very confusing to me, but in a good way. I was just like, I can't grasp what you're trying to get from Arthur because
Yeah.
you definitely don't like him. But I think they all did a great job. The movie is just, even though I liked the first one because of its psychology aspect, I didn't like it because it was so slow. And this movie was just slow and a musical at the same time. And most of the songs weren't entertaining to me. I think there was only one song in there that I really enjoyed, and it was the scene where Lady Gaga and Hakeem
Joaquin.
are getting married as part of the scene.
Oh, and the short guy's there.
Yeah.
Right after saying, "I was scared."
Yeah.
Arthur.
Yeah. Oh man, that scene also broke my heart.
That was
That was a sad scene.
He
I'm
did
like,
a great job.
Yeah,
too.
no, they
That
all did
actor,
great.
My goodness.
I enjoyed the whole movie from that perspective. It was just too slow, musical. I'm like, what in the world? Wasting my time. This could have been an hour and a half, maybe an hour and 15 minutes without all that
You're
music.
so right.
That's true.
It could have been like an hour 20 minutes.
I understand why you had the musical.
Fillers.
I just don't like that it was a musical.
Felt like there was an hour 20 minutes of music.
Yeah.
And 30 minutes or
Of everything
40
else.
music of movie.
But yeah, so I give it definitely a D.
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 Okay.
All right, the Batman enthusiast himself.
Oh my gosh.
Just the one that counts.
Counts. It's gonna be I'm gonna give it a C.
This guy's crazy.
I'm gonna give it a C.
All right,
Absolutely
explain.
Explain. Okay. So
Yeah.
like I said, when it's hard to explain, but I'm gonna go for it. So Joker, crazy. Nothing is serious about him. Nothing is like stable, sane about him, right? You watch this movie, you're going crazy because number one, yes, it's the musical, but I really think that Lady Gaga had a huge influence because of Harley Quinn's character as well, you know. So Todd Phillips just says, why not? Let's go for it. It's gonna be the last film anyways, right? Go ahead, Lady Gaga, do your thing. All right, we got the musical. Musical kind of fits with me because of how psychotic and crazy the Joker is. And we never really get to see what's in his mind. And maybe he's singing, maybe he's killing, maybe he's doing whatever. But that's just one aspect, and that's his like love and affinity for Harley Quinn at that time. The music is in there because that's how they met in like music class or whatever. So that's how he can put his connection with Harley together. Music. If it was painting, maybe they'll just be painting the whole time. But I think that's where the musical comes from.
Dude, if it was painting, that would look actually pretty cool. Like, can you imagine just a dude painting really fast and then it just turns into the scene? Like,
Oh, that'd be cool.
insane.
That's a huge transition.
That's
Yeah.
definitely Spider-Man, like into the Spider-Verse kind
yeah,
of feel
yeah,
to it.
definitely.
Definitely. Yeah,
I
so,
didn't like it.
what?
I didn't like that part, especially in Gwen's world because it was a bit
like-
much.
I loved
I
every
like-
I loved
yeah.
every second of
I
it.
explained it in our
No, yeah, you
when we
did.
covered
You
it.
did.
I didn't like that.
I agree with what you're saying, but
Just
I
not-
disagree that it had to be an hour and a half of music.
No, that's what I'm saying. So cut it in half and cut some songs, like partially reduce it. Like I feel like we watched the extended version of Joker 2.
That's what I
You know what
thought.
I mean? Like I feel like we watched the extended version. Okay, let's go
the
ahead.
director's cut.
We
Absolutely.
got the director's cut. Now let's go ahead and cut that out and make it smaller. And I think it'll be a good film.
Or maybe the music director's cut.
Like what Iz said, he looked past the musical, and that big old punchline. Punchline is, in the comic book, Joker's other significant other than Harley Quinn. Punchline. At the punchline,
I didn't know that.
I did not know that. Oh, whoa.
so
He's all like, you guys get it? Sorry.
no, never mind. The punch at the end, the punchline was the fact that it wasn't him as the Joker.
Not the Joker that we know.
Not the Joker that we know.
Yeah.
Like you
And
said,
love.
he's pathetic. He's weak. He not
Broken.
clever. He's broken. Maybe the other Joker
Malnourished.
behind him, malnourished. Maybe the Joker the dude behind him, because I can't say that's the real Joker, but just because he cuts himself, the dude behind him that gets rid of him, the psycho dude, maybe the Joker, maybe not, but I think that's what Todd Phillips wants to do. He just wants to let the fans kind of speculate all they want.
Oh, sure.
Just like how we were talking about The Dark Knight Rises, how Robin goes up into the Batcave and done. The scene is done. Speculate all you want.
My least favorite part of that whole movie was
Exactly.
that. I'm just like, what are we supposed to do with that?
Yeah, for real. The end, right? You talking about the end?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the ending.
Oh my God. Oh my.
But yeah, it was. And again, he was. He was an entertainer, and was I entertained? Yeah, I'm like, oh look, Joker's dancing. and stuff
Are
like
you
that.
not entertained?
That's not a check. He's not Russell Crowe. No, I'm kidding. Joaquin did awesome.
Yeah, Joaquin Phoenix. Okay,
You just say his first name.
Joaquin Phoenix.
Or Mr. Phoenix.
Mr. Phoenix did a fantastic job as the Joker with his laugh too. Oh my gosh, like what you said, like gut wrenching. Like, dude, stop it.
Yeah.
You're like, ugh.
It was a very melodramatic laugh for sure.
And the way he stops himself, I'm like, oh my gosh, like,
Yeah.
dude, just stop it. But no, it's almost like it's the 70s, like you said. Mental health wasn't a focus back then. Now watching something like that today, it's kind of like, dude, I feel for him.
Yeah.
And it's like when you watched it, like probably like 30, 40 years ago, like, oh, this dude's such a joke. He's crazy. Destroy him. Be gone. Next, But again, I look at like different angles because social media just devoured this, demolished this movie, and I'm like, let me just watch it, see it for myself. And I had to just go in the movie with a grain of salt, like just see it as it is, and no, it's a musical because I cheated. I went genre musical. And so, yeah.
If you want to feel better about this movie, like if you want to give it a better grade, my wife and I watched the movie last night, which was absolutely terrible. It's called Final Girl. I recommend you never to watch it.
Is that based off of the board game?
I don't think so.
Oh, I heard that. I know that board game. I think you sent it to me.
Yeah, it's like the board game's like it's based off. It's like a solo type kind of game, and it's a horror genre, I believe.
No, this was not a horror.
No, okay. never
No,
mind.
it was just.
Go on.
It's just so bad.
It's okay.
So bad. But you watch that and then you think about Joker 2 and you're like, actually, you know what? Joker 2 was really good.
Dang.
Because that other movie
in
was
comparison, it's A.
the show. I felt like I produced that movie.
Dying.
And I directed it, and then I also did all of the lighting for that movie. Because
Was it a musical?
thank God, no. Actually, you know what? If it was a musical, it probably would have been better. Because there was no music the entire time of this movie.
Oh man.
I was just sitting there going,
Not even suspenseful music?
like, little bit.
Was
in
it
the
an
back.
indie movie film? Indie film?
It might have been.
Who's in it?
You know what the crazy thing? Have you watched Bad Boys, the most recent one, Ride and Die?
I didn't finish it, but yeah.
Okay, but you know the blonde guy?
Yeah.
He's with Vanessa Hudgens.
Hudgens, yeah.
He's in it. And then
okay.
Did you ever watch the TV show called what was it called? It had one of the Jonas Brothers. What's the youngest Jonas Brothers' name?
There's Joe,
Nick.
there's Nick.
Nick. It had Nick Jonas in it, and he was like a serial killer who wore like a
What?
devil suit. It was a TV show for the longest time. But okay, have you ever seen American Horror Stories?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know the main girl that's in that right now? Okay, she was in that show with Nick Jonas, and she was called Chanel. There was like 3 Chanels: Chanel 1, Chanel 2, Chanel 3, and
What?
Chanel 5. the girl.
It was 4.
I guess there were multiple Chanels, but 2 of them
He said
died
1, 2,
or something.
3, 5.
Yeah, no, it was 1, 3, and 5. Those were
Like
the 3 that were there.
Ashley's,
Yeah. I'm Chanel 1. This is Chanel 3, and that's Chanel 5. And
What?
Chanel 5, the girl who played Chanel 5 was in this Final Girl movie. It was just really bad. It was so bad. And it's crazy because both of these, the actors I just mentioned, the guy and that girl, do great jobs in those other films that they're in. But this is just like bad directing.
Oh, man.
Bad writing, bad editing, bad production, all together.
And the Joker 2 makes those movies.
Those movies make the Joker 2 look like it was done really well. If I instantly watched that one and then watched the Joker, I would have been like, man, Joker's like a B+.
Dude, all right. Well, that's going to wrap up this episode. Follow us on IG, Facebook, and TikTok, and X, formerly known as Twitter. You can catch all of our video content on YouTube. Please leave a review as it will help this podcast grow. And join our community on Discord. Thanks for hanging out with us, and don't forget to turn it to